Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great and exceptional day. It is Thursday. The week is almost over. The last full official week of call me when I'm going live. Lord have mercy. Sorry about that, family. You got to hear one of my favorite rappers, Tech Nine's ringtones. But anyways, just mess my game up. Just mess my game up. Like, why? I don't understand. Anyways, today's word of the day is acute. Stands for having a sharp point, keenly perceptive, or discerning. When you go in live, you have to be on point, regardless of the situation. Sometimes unforeseen things happen. They take place. That's just the way life goes. Or as, one of my favorite sayings from one of my favorite business people, Jason Black, says, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And you got to do your best in this life to be on point, regardless of whatever situation you're in, whether you're in the comforts of your own home, but definitely once you walk outside, because one of my favorite movies called Devil in a Blue Dress starring Denzel Washington and Don Cheadle. And there was one of his person he was working for, he was contracted to work for to help find somebody. In the movie, he said, well, because before he took the job of trying to find this missing person, he says, well, I don't want to get into anything, I don't want to step into something that might be an issue. And the guy said to him, and I quote, he said to Denzel Washington, I quote, the moment you step outside of your door, you're stepping into something. And I'm like, that's probably one of the realest statements on the planet. This was like a mid to late 90s movie. Excuse me. But it was one of the realest statements ever. The moment you step out in the world, I don't care what neighborhood you live in, I don't care what community you live in, I don't care what country you live in, you have a chance of stepping into something that you don't even know. So if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Today's quote of the day, I'm just going to utilize a couple of quotes by one of my favorite rappers, one of my favorite business people who was killed in front of a commercial property that he used to own because the family sold it, I believe. Nipsey Hussle. And it was just a darn shame. I know this happened years ago, but his memory still lives on because the marathon continues. He says, and I quote, that you can be anything you want despite your circumstances. And that's true, because coming from where he came from back in the day before the gentrification onslaught took place on Crenshaw and Slauson, the pathway for people that came up in Nipsey Hussle's conditions was dead or in jail. Homeless, dead, or in jail. So, he built a foundation that was something to be proud of. And I think if he was still alive to this day, that foundation would have continuously grown and grown and grown, so that's what's sad. And he says another thing, planning and hard work are essential parts of success that people don't see. And that's what and I remember he would always say, people don't realize, I remember he said, I went through every emotion that you can think of in this plan. He's like, I make it look easy now what I'm doing. He said, but I went through every emotion, came from the rock bottom, had it all, lost it all, had it all, lost it all, and kept going. And that's what you have to do when you're trying to move forward in what you want to do in this life. I myself have, with my online store, I've been making more money. And it's not even just about making the money. I've been, providing a service, and that's allowed me to, some people get a product that they want. I therefore get the money. I therefore can invest back into my online business, or invest into buying real estate property via various different vehicles. And then that allows me to not only accumulate more assets, but then that allows me to be able to buy back more of my time, which is the best thing on the planet. Another quote, he says that the haters don't matter. And I could not agree with that statement more, even though the biggest hater he had killed him, who's a piece of crap. But haters don't matter, scammers don't matter, that they just come along with the territory, especially when you're in the online space. Especially in the online space, I get more calls and text messages and scams that the law will allow. So it just makes me laugh at this point. At this point, it's just freaking entertaining. But on that note, do the great free things, family. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. As I always say, make money move. So you're going to lay bro like a fool. Take care, family.